Welcome everyone to another Bob Wire podcast. I'm Bob. Uh, First and foremost, I would like everyone to like, subscribe, share. I want to get this thing off the ground. I really appreciate your support. Thanks so much for spending some time with me to listen to my rant and raving. You could be doing that with anyone, but you choose to do it with me, and I appreciate that. I also want to take some time out to give some acknowledgement to the producer of this, Justin Rogers. He's making this whole thing looks great. He makes this 49-year-old man looks like he's 29, at least in my head, and that's at least what my wife tells me.
Okay, black, 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 black on black, black, my thoughts so black, black, black on black, my skin is so black, I'm rocking that black on black is black.
We have Guy Thompson. He's a CEO. He was shot in New York. He's a healthcare CEO. I'm going to go over a little news article of some of the key facts that they have. I'm currently reading this information from Forbes. So I'll start it off. Thompson was shot in the back and right calf outside of New York Hilton Midtown just before 7 a.m. This was Wednesday morning, and he was rushed to Mount Sinai West in critical condition, where he was pronounced dead, NYPD officials said at a press conference Wednesday. So let's talk about the issue here. First and foremost, I do want to say to everyone, listen, I don't agree with people obviously just coming and gunning down a person because of the job that they do or anything like that. I'm not a person that's going to say that something like that was correct or right or that I stand for that, right? But now that I said that, just so I don't get sued, I'll continue on and I'll tell you where I really land at with this whole situation. I'm sorry, I'm not going to lose an ounce of fucking sleep for this fucking guy. I'm going to just say it one more time. I'm not advocating for the violence, but I fucking understand it, right? Let's talk about the healthcare situation here. We live in the richest nation in the world. Every first world nation has universal healthcare. We don't. That's a problem. See, nobody wanted to hear Bernie Sanders when he was saying about universal healthcare. No, we had fucking idiots sitting up there talking about, I'm going to lose my doctor. I'm going to get the coverage. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose. No, motherfucker. What was going to happen was that if you did not have health insurance, you would be able to go see a doctor. You have folks that are sitting here, if they get hurt in the street and someone says, call an ambulance, they says, no, call me a fucking Uber. It's cheaper to get there than taking a fucking ambulance. That's because healthcare is so out of control in this country. We have to do something about this. This is not right. This is just going to be the beginning of things that are going to soon come. Listen, we're popping off this is the preface to the fucking Trump's administration. This is what's going to now start happening. We're going to see a lot more of this happening. Listen, it's unfortunate, but in America, the world for that matter, but I'm going to just stick to America. The way people are in America is that they don't understand nothing but bloodshed, right? You're only going to get change when somebody's blood is spilled. Usually a lot of people's blood, typically of the minority sort. But in this case, it's a white man. So we're going to probably get some real attention now all of a sudden, right? I know you're going to say, oh, he's going to the race shit. Fuck you. That is the truth. Because he's a white CEO, that's why this is being taken care of. But if his name was fucking Tyrone and he worked for fucking Jiffy Lube or something like that and he was a manager there and nobody's talking about that, all right? No one's even saying he was assassinated. They saying that nigga got shot. So let's be clear. It is because of a race issue going on here. We got to now start moving to the progressive side of things. And we're going to have to start really earnestly and honestly, guys, looking at pushing our politicians to give us universal health care, okay? It is needed. Don't buy into what the Republicans are telling you and people on the right that are telling you that, oh, that means it's going to take you 2 months to see a doctor if you have the flu. That's bullshit, okay? Every first world nation in this country pretty much have universal health care. You don't see CEOs of healthcare firms getting shot the fuck down up north, our northern neighbors in Canada. You don't hear that going on in the United Kingdom, right? You don't hear that in any of the first world nations, right? That's because they have some sort of universal health care. That's what's needed here. And if anybody feels bad and you want to honor the death of this guy, then do the right thing and start pushing the country in the direction of getting some sort of universal health care coverage. And I'm sorry, the Affordable Care Act, quote unquote, Obamacare, is just not good enough. Okay? And we literally have Trump looking to dismantle that. So if he does go ahead and dismantles that, and then nobody's got any coverage, it's gonna really get crazy out here. So just keep that in mind. All right. I also want to talk about within the same issue of this CEO being shot, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I'm pretty sure that could be a show in itself. Is about gun regulations that just doesn't seem to exist anymore, right? We're now living in a society where they pretty much are saying like anyone just could walk around with guns, and we have folks out here that are really thinking that that's actually okay, right? And this is what happens when this is what goes down. But I know you're gonna have the Second Amendment folks crying, oh, it's my rights, my rights, my rights. Okay, then it's your right to get shut the fuck up, right? It's your right when you go to maybe go see a movie with your family and someone just barges in and just starts lighting up the place. It's your right when you send your kids to school and then unfortunately they're fucking gunned down, right? And like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on that particular subject because that's something I want to go deeper down a rabbit hole down the line when we talk about that. And yes, I'm a gun owner myself, but I do believe that we need to have better gun regulations, than what we have currently in this country. And it's unfortunate. And at the end of the day, this guy Thompson, the CEO, I wish his family well, and I know it's rough, and it's unfortunate, but this is the state that we're in currently right now when it comes to this country. So, another subject I want to kind of move on to. Joe Biden has pardoned his son. And we so happen to have some sleazy Democrats that are crying about it. From Colorado, Senator Michael Bennet said Biden's decision placed personal interest in duty and further endorses American faith in the justice system is fair and equal for all. Senator Michael, shut the hell up. Democratic Greg Stanton of Arizona said that while he respects the president, I think he's got this one wrong. I think your parents got that one wrong having you. We all know that what had happened with Hunter Biden, and I'm not caping for him or anything like that. The charges that were coming against him were ridiculous. They were going after him, obviously. It's because he is the son of the sitting president, and that's what this is about. And listen, I'm going to say it like this. I would have literally lost respect for Joe Biden if he would have left his son's livelihood in the hands of this fascist that's about to take office. My only issue so far that I have with Joe Biden is that you need to pardon more people. There's a lot of people that are sitting on federal death row that I think you should pardon them and maybe just downgrade it to life in prison. We literally got Trump saying that he's going to come in and let these January 6 maniacs, he's going to pardon them and let them go. So stop this whole high, being on this high ground and we gotta be the way and this is the way we're supposed to sit, No, that sort of politics is over with. There is no high ground anymore. We're fighting fascists, and you shouldn't be playing footsies with fascists. So Joe Biden, I give him a lot of respect for getting his son out of that situation. Trump, look at the people that he allowed out with his pardons that he did back when he was in office from 2016 to 2020. He let out a fucking host of criminals. Nobody says nothing about that. Joe Biden lets out his son and all of a sudden everyone's butthurt. It's ridiculous. So Joe Biden, continue to pardon. Free every fucking body. As far as I'm concerned. All right. There's these two gentlemen. I don't even want to call them gentlemen. There's these two most tap dancingest Sambos I've ever seen. They literally had David Duke on and platforming a person like this. I'm not gonna give them too much light, and I don't wanna send anybody their way to take a look at it. But these two senseless raccoons was tap dancing so loud when I was listening to it, brother. The picture of Malcolm X fell off my wall, brother. The level of tap dancing that was taking place just to get themselves a plate of fatback and maybe a half-eaten neck bone. That's what these brothers do. And I want to now move to that because I want to talk about the black folks that are the black MAGA. And yeah, I'm gonna come for you guys. You you guys sit there and you supported this person, right? And furthermore, those two brothers, they were unfortunately in my generation, a Generation X. They were born in 1975, my birth year, which is very fucking disappointing. You see, in my generation, BS like this didn't rock. These two clowns fell out of my generation. These two clowns came out of the generation of X-Clan and Public Enemy. How they slipped through the cracks, I have no fucking idea. I'm assuming these two Negroes stayed in the house until they were at least 21 years old, okay? Because there's no way they was outside talking like this. So I'll digress and I'll move on. But I want to get back to all the folks, these black MAGA supporters. I think they're starting to see the errors in their ways a little bit. I may be wrong, but I think that they're starting to see it a little bit. We see right now still Tim Scott, one of the biggest tap dancers for Trump, still doesn't have a cabinet position. Byron Donalds don't have a cabinet position. Tim Scott went as far as renting a bride. Tim Scott, we all know that you ain't on that side, brother. You're playing on the other side. But you had to give this image, right, that you're a heterosexual, right? Because that's not going to play well with your base, right? The Republican base do not like visible homosexuals. Their brand of homosexuals they prefer in the closet. So, of course, he had to go get himself a mail order bride, white woman too, and probably spent good money on her. And now ultimately, what did you get out of it, brother? Not a cabinet position. As far as Trump is saying, that's not a black job, okay? Byron Donalds. This brother's sitting around going to all the barbershops. This barbershop talk. Yeah, brothers and Trump is this and Trump is for us and Trump's for people and Trump. What happened, brother? No cabinet position, brother. You'll be probably the closer you'll come to his cabinet is being a fucking janitor mopping the floors. So big F you to those two clowns, and I am so happy to see that they haven't received any form of position when it comes to this administration moving forward. I also want to speak about Stephen A. Smith. This George Jefferson lookalike motherfucker, right? He had the wonderful actress Jennifer Lewis on his show, right? She's a national treasure. She's basically that auntie that she'll light you up, straighten you out. She showed up on Stephen A. Smith's show. She was talking about Trump. And it was amazing. And I could see that Stephen A. Smith, because he likes to play defense, right? He likes to put out there that he voted for Kamala, but he also likes to put out the fact that he'll talk about the conservative side of things, right? And say, well, the Democrats failed and they were doing a terrible job. And he's always quick to bash Democrats, right? But he'll like to just throw it in there. By the way, I voted for Kamala. I don't necessarily believe he voted for Kamala. I think he's just saying that because he wants to be on both sides of the fence. He could say, I voted for Kamala, but I also at the same time, listen, MAGA people, I dog the Democrats as well. I dog them more than I ever will dog the right. So they give him a little bit of a pass. And she showed up on the show and she was, walking Trump like a dog. Walking him. She spoke about all the black MAGA supporters making certain very important points. She spoke about how do you feel as a black man supporting a guy like that that says that he is ready to unleash the military and the police against you, that would literally shoot you in your back without facing, with total immunity, without facing any levels of prosecution. And you sit there and you endanger not only yourself, but you endanger your future generations. You endanger your children, if you have any. You endanger your brothers, your sisters, your mothers, right? And all for what? Because you think somehow that you tethering yourself to this white supremacist who you think got bank, all of a sudden it's gonna trickle down to you and you're gonna be in a better situation. You're waiting for another stimulus check. None of that's coming your way. And that's gonna be the rude awakening. When the leopards start eating your face, you're gonna know. And I don't want to hear any crying. Okay? I don't want to hear like, oh man, what's going on? This is bad. We're losing health care. They're cutting the welfare. And not saying that all black folks is on welfare. So that's not what I'm saying. And I'm speaking about everybody across the line now. It's not just a black thing. So just to let you know, I'm not suggesting we are not the number one people on welfare anyway. That would be our white brothers and sisters. But when you start screaming about how all of a sudden your government assistance is going away and you're getting screwed over, I don't want to hear the shit. I don't want to hear the crying. I don't want to hear like what's going on. Oh, I didn't know he was going to do this. When he starts putting the tariffs in place, and then all of a sudden you start seeing the price of fucking your ramen noodles going up. All of a sudden it's fucking $4 for a pack. You know, when you're used to maybe getting two for that price. Don't cry then. When all of a sudden a can of pork and beans go up to $5, you know what I'm saying? And you got your woman there at home and your kids and you're fucking hungry and you're eating fucking toothpaste. Congratulations, you did that to yourself, right? That's because you put this person in position of power that's going to do things that's going to literally derail and wreck the economy. That's what you got coming down the pipeline to you. All you union workers, construction union people who sat there and supported him, when all of a sudden you start seeing that he's promoting and pushing all these right to work states, and then all of a sudden you start realizing that now you're being ousted, you're on furloughs, you're on big greater layoffs, and all of a sudden they're really trying to literally break the backs of these unions. Congratulations, you did that to yourself. So there's a lot that's going to be coming down this pipeline. There's going to be a lot. We really have to bunker down and get ready for this administration. I'm not saying to sit there and shake in fear of this administration. What I'm saying is that be ready for what's going to come down the pipeline. Don't be afraid. Just be ready because we know what it is, right? Don't let it catch you off guard. And when you start hearing certain folks that cried about it and they voted for him, you give them the middle finger. You don't have time to hear their cries or anything like that, okay? They did that to themselves. And to all the motherfuckers who wanted to, couch surf, I don't want to hear from you guys either. If you didn't participate in the voting process, you're just as guilty. So I don't want to hear your fucking cries. I don't want to hear that you're having a hard time fucking filling up your fucking tank to drive anywhere. I don't want to hear none of that. Don't, folks, and I'm talking to all of my people on the left, my leftists, let's not concern ourselves with carrying the burden of those fucking morons. They did it to themselves. Unfortunately, we're in the same house that they set on fire. Let's just find ourselves our own little room and let's fucking open up the windows so we can fucking get out. I would like to talk about Kendrick Lamar. He made a statement about not allowing white comedians to, and I'm paraphrasing, to come for the black women, right? And there's an old Southern saying, a fucking hit dog will holler. Who started hollering? I think it's named Adolf Schultz. Adolf Schultz, is that his name? I would think. Yeah. Yeah, Adolf Schultz or Andrew say Adolf Schultz. Let's go with that. That sounds about appropriate, right? So this fucking idiot comes out, right? And he's on his fucking show. And then he starts making comments about how he's aware that, maybe Kendrick Lamar's security or gangs, they could probably beat him up or kill him or whatever. I want to move into where he said, but if left alone with him and Kendrick Lamar, they were like locked up. He started to make some jokes about how he would make love to Kendrick Lamar, and that there would be nothing that Kendrick Lamar could really do about that. And he is his bandit crew. They're all laughing. It's all fucking yumming it up, laughing. This man is talking about sexually assaulting, raping another man, and y'all find the funny in that, saying how you would make love to him and there's nothing he can do or anything like that. I do hope Kendrick Lamar give a rebuttal to this fucking clown. Chin check this fool. Put him in his fucking proper place, because you see, this is what happens when we allow these raccoons to allow certain people in our fucking spaces, right? They come into our fucking house and they don't even wipe their feet. You know what they do? They put their foot up on the couch, like Rick James, and say, fuck your couch, nigga. And that's what he's doing. And Charlamagne, this cow print Negro, okay? You need to check your boy. He is getting out of pocket. The black race is the only race that sits there and allows the monetizing of their suffering. They're like the only race that gets off on that. And when I say that, I'm meaning in the sense that we will sit there and let clowns like Candace Owens, sometimes Stephen A. Smith, Charlamagne, throw you in there too sometimes. And we'll sit there and we'll allow folks to come in and talk shit about us, degrade us, make us less than. And it's allowed as long as there's a oh, this is content. Oh, this is getting likes. Oh, I'm doing it for the gram. It's for the money. We'll sell out our own people, our own culture, right? Just for the money. I don't see Hispanics doing that. I don't see Jews doing that. I don't see Asians doing that. I don't see any race on the planet. And please leave in the comment section if you like the fuck I'm saying. Like I said, hey, there's enough space here to hate, and there's space here obviously for the love. So you can put your hate in your comments, whatever. I'm cool with it. Believe me, I got alligator skin. You ain't gonna fucking bother me. I'm not gonna cry a fucking river like Justin Timberlake. I stand 10 toes down on what I'm saying, okay? So we are the only race of people that allow this type of chicoonery to fucking go on and exist. We now have to, because we got to change course, folks. We got to stop saying just because he's melanated that he's a brother. No, that's a fucking imposter. We need to tar and feathers these cats. We need to bring them to the front of the congregation, and we need to horsewhip them. Public flogging. That's what I feel. Oh, this guy's talking violence. Yeah. Because you know what Harriet Tubman would have done? She would have fucking you. Okay? You know what Nat Turner would have did? He would have fucking you. Okay? So we got to stop allowing these coons to sit up there and talk bad about, and it's not the majority of us. So I don't want it to be misconstrued for this big assumption that, all these black folks are all sellout. No. But it's always just the few that makes the most noise, right? So as they're making noise, we got to turn up the volume too. We got to call these people out. We got to stop playing nice with them, because they're allowing people to walk into our space and say wild shit. That's why you have this twins having on fucking the former Klans member, his name escapes me, for David Duke, I'm sorry, to come on and platform a man like this. I mean, why is he not even dead yet? I mean, how old is this motherfucker? Evil just doesn't die, I guess, right? I mean, I don't even know this motherfucker is, I think he's got to almost be like 80 or something. This motherfucker should be dead, okay? And you're platforming this fucking idiot, right? And thinking this is cool. And then when you start doing things like that, that allows so-called comedians like Adolf Schultz to come into our space and say wild shit about raping one of the greatest rappers out here today. So I hope everybody fucking rally up and come for his ass. My whole thing is, make sure this motherfucker never gets a Netflix special. Keep this motherfucker in the bottom barrels of YouTube, as far as I'm concerned. And Charlamagne, find yourself a better set of fucking friends, for God's sakes. Fucking hanging out with clowns. I just want us as a people, and I'm not speaking specifically just to black folks at this moment. We are so caught up on just being politically correct. And I'm not against political correctness. I do believe that you should be politically correct. But we're moved into an environment now where it's just not good enough to be right anymore. You have to be fucking effective. Let's go out there. Let's start speaking to just the common YouTubers, you know, or all the grassroots people as well. Go to these spaces. Surround yourself around them. Rebuild the coalition. This is what the Democratic Party have to do. Let's rebuild the coalition. We are the party of the common man and woman, right? We are the party of the marginalized communities, the impoverished, the middle class. We encompass that whole base right there. Let's get that base back, because somehow we just rest on our laurels of being right rather than being effective. Okay, guys, I'm going to look to close the show out. But before I do that, I want to leave it off on, I'm going to at least for now on, at least attempt to leave the show with a proverb, so to speak, right? A little food for thought, word of knowledge, little things that I'll hear, I'll jot down, and I'll share it with you guys. The first one that I'll leave you with is, everyone, try to spend each day lessening the suffering of someone else. And that's what I would define as good. So take that, dissect that, you know, and maybe try to employ that into your life, right? Just spend at least one time out of your day trying to do something to make somebody's suffering a little less. On that note, guys, peace, love. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to the show. We'll be back. There's a lot of content to talk about. I hope that not too many of you are insulted. I really don't care, but I do hope most of you aren't too insulted. And for the ones that appreciate the show, I'll try to keep coming with it. I'll always try to stand on integrity, facts. I'll always traffic in that, I promise you. And I would always lend my opinions. Sometimes it's not going to land always the way you may want it to, but just understand that I'm coming from a realistic space. And I'm speaking from the heart, and that's where I'm at. So, guys, the bar's getting ready to close. Enjoy the night. Love you all. Peace.
Okay, black on black, my thoughts so black, black on black, my skin is so black, I'm rocking that black on black is black.